Autistic Gamer 7, and welcome back to another Pokemon to Create a Sim video. This one here is, involved a lot of Sims. It is actually Deerling. I think Deerling is Generation 5. I actually have a little thing up over here this time for my voiceover. One, because I actually remembered with Deerling there was something very specific that I knew that I wouldn't remember that I wanted to mention when I was looking at it, so I actually remembered to pull the info up for this one. But anyway, so Deerling is Generation 5. It is obviously a deer Pokemon, but it's also known as, like, the seasonal Pokemon. This was actually, there's a few Pokemon that I created, and a few of them I have forgot to mention in the video, that I actually just took a number generator, and I put number 1 through however many Pokemon it is. I don't remember right now, but it's like in the 800s, I think. And then just randomized the number, and then whatever number Pokemon that was, I wrote it down. Because, one, I didn't want to just constantly pick Pokemon that were either legendaries, because, you know, a lot of people know what the legendaries, because a lot of times the legendaries are on the box. Or, you know, ones that are people's favorites, or my favorites, or, you know, the ones that are more likely known. Obviously, there's still some of them there, and I still choose to do some of those. But I also wanted to do that one, especially if it's not me picking it, then it's possibly going to wind up on a Pokemon that's going to be really hard or challenging to do. But this was one that I was sort of thinking about doing, but then it got the little randomized thing, so then I was super excited that I got to do this one. With this being the seasonal Pokemon, it does change with the seasons. I never, like I've mentioned many times before, there was certain generations that I sort of fell out of the loop. I didn't know anything about them. I didn't watch the show during the time. I didn't collect any Pokemon cards. I didn't play the games. Nothing. So at one point in time, they had added seasons and then removed seasons. So I do know apparently only the spring form shows up now, which is the one that is being made currently, which is sort of annoying. You can only get the other 3, like, through different means. I feel like there's still a way they could have done it, especially, like, with Sword and Shield. If you take its mechanics, they could have, like, certain weather. Whatever weather is more common. Obviously, like, snow is more common in the winter, so let the winter form show up then. So on and so forth. But anyway, with this Pokemon, I actually did make a base, and by that I mean I made a sim that wasn't specifically meant to be one particular Pokemon or one particular sim. It was just a base, and I saved it to the gallery and then brought it in so many times, which in this case was 4. So all of them look very, very similar when it comes to face structure and things like that. I also all have that face paint on them to make them similar, but then also show, because the whole point with this Pokemon is it looks the same except for mainly the color for the Pokemon itself, but in Sims I did try to tweak a few different things here and there. Some of them's mouths might look a bit different, some might be skinnier, some might be a little bit fitter, or whatever. And also with the skin tone, I actually did go, like, 4 different shades technically, summer being the darkest, because I was thinking with summer there's a lot of sun, so, you know, you can get a tan and get a little bit darker tone than what you are because of the sun. Fall, you know, you're not seeing the sun as much, but you still had that summer tan. Winter, you're out of the sun. It's just not there. So, you know, you start going to your full, however pale you were before. For some people, it's not that pale. For other people like me, it's pale, very pale. And then spring, you know, the sun is coming out, so, you know, you're slowly starting to get your tan back. But, so yeah, there was, like, little tweaks here and there that I did, but I did start with a base. And I will say with this Pokemon, I actually was really planning on doing 2 of them as male and 2 as female, because you can actually have a 50-50 chance of it being male or female. I've noticed a lot of the Pokemon are like that now, but at first, or at least some of the Pokemon I did in Series 1, a lot of their ratios were off greatly. One of the ones that's still weird to me and sort of annoying to me because how I am with it is Eevee. The ratio for male to female is ridiculous on Eevee, or unless they've changed it and I didn't know it. But the chances of getting a female is very rare. And not to mention, a lot of times it's hard to find Eevee in the first place, and I'm someone who's very particular about what gender each of my Pokemon are, except for, like, 2 of them, which is Leafeon and Flareon. For some reason, I flop with those ones. I'm okay with either. But the thing is I feel biased because then I put too many female, so a lot of times Leafeon almost always stays male in my head just because of that reason, and Flareon's about the only one that flip-flops. But yeah, anyway, that's totally off the point of this particular one. So with the reason why I didn't do all, like, 2 males and 2 females is actually that face paint. That face paint is literally the only reason that I didn't do it. A lot of stuff anymore, even like CC wise, once you take that feminine or masculine thing off, everything appears. But this is one of the few things, I think it was made long before, like, they ever tried to make it, like, you know, added in more of the general neutral stuff, or thinking of, like, trans and all that stuff, and that sometimes not every single female or every single male is going to dress the same or do their hair the same or whatever, even if they still identify as their actual, like, you know, their birth gender is what I mean. At least I think it was made. I don't know. But either way, it doesn't pop up on the males, is what I'm trying to get at here. Which made me so sad. I cut out the part where I first started doing a male. I took the base and I changed it to male, and the face paint went off, and I thought it was weird, but at the same time I was like, maybe it's probably just because, you know, it's technically in the feminine category, and all I have to do is take off the masculine category and it will show up. And it did not. It did not show up at all, which made me sad. But I will say, at least with them all being female, you could see, like, the similarities being strong, but then the differences also being very easily noticeable at the same time. So, but I was really hoping to make males, because I was gonna make the winter one a male and the summer one a male. And the winter one in my head was looking adorable if I could get it the way that I wanted to, but, you know, they're all females in this case. But with the female Sims, I do have more options. So, and the thing is though you can take off the feminine and masculine thing, when it comes to clothes, a lot of times that doesn't work. I will say, even if the CC creators allow it to be for both, it doesn't always work for both. Clipping and things like that can be very strange. Especially feminine clothes on males in the game versus a lot of the masculine stuff will fit on females fine for the most part, but not so much the other way around. But anyway, so yeah, it gave me a lot of options. But the thing with obviously you've already seen the springtime thing, and I should be showing them each individually as it changes. Obviously the only thing that changes is literally the color that's, like, on their back and on their head. Otherwise, the base color, that's like their legs, their nose, and the flower, those colors all stay the same. But like I already mentioned, I did decide to make the skin tone slightly different. And also, with the flower, I do try to keep it close to yellow, but I give them different flowers. Just because I didn't want to give them the exact same stuff. I wanted it to be fun. But yeah, I had a lot of fun with this one. The pink one obviously was spring, the green one was summer, and in some ways that confuses me, but in other ways I get it, because yellow would have been basically blended in with the flower and the other details on Deerling, so I get why they didn't choose that color. And before anyone points it out, I know I say that color really strange. My boyfriend points it out every single time. My friends stopped doing it, but he will not. So yes, I know, I say it wrong. I say it weird, I can't help it. But anyway, on to that. But with the green, I guess, you know, they're choosing green because once summer, like spring, a bunch of the plants are growing and things like that. By summer, everything's like in full flourish form. The trees are completely green, everything like that. So, because that's why they choose that color. And like I said, the other one really wasn't an option. And then they put orange for autumn. So, going with that sun type color would not have worked, which orange makes sense for autumn though, but just because, you know, leaves are turning orange, there are a lot of times people associate pumpkins with fall and things like that. So that one really made more sense anyway for autumn. And then winter is the one that kept confusing my brain. But it makes sense, but it confused my brain. Because I really wanted to do like a light blue to a white, because that is the first colors that come to my mind when I think of just winter in general. but it's a brownish color, and you'll see once winter comes up. Right now it's on autumn, but yeah, so it was confusing my brain, and like there was a big part of me that was struggling while I was making winter the whole entire time not to click on colors that were blue or white, like the light blue to white range. I tried so hard not to click on any of them. But overall, I think winter ended up being my favorite at the end, and then autumn, and then probably spring, then probably summer. And the odd thing about that is almost in order of how I like my seasons. Winter and fall are flipped, though. And yes, I like winter better than spring and summer. I'm sorry, I'm weird. I prefer the cold. And fall is, like, amazing. But where I'm at, fall almost doesn't exist anymore. Spring almost doesn't exist anymore. It's like a week of spring and fall, and then the rest is winter and summer. But, yeah. Anyway, so I do think winter turned out really freaking adorable. I love how she turned out. And one thing I didn't mention when talking about the skin tones, the reason why I picked this skin tone instead of going with that, like, paley, creamish color, because I go with, a lot of times with Pokemon, I do try to find a color that is on the Pokemon that is close to a skin color. But a lot of Pokemon have this white, palish cream color. I don't know exactly. I would say cream more than anything, but it is at least close to an actual skin tone. A lot of Pokemon have that I have created in this series and the series 1 part. So I sort of got I'm tired of constantly having Pokemon Sims that are on the paler spectrum, because I'm using that logic. So with this one, the fact that they are based off of deer, and deer are like a brownish tan color, that's why I decided to go with that skin color. I went based off of the real animal that they are based off of. I really like, actually, how they look, so I'm perfectly fine that I chose that skin color. Especially Winter. Winter is so pretty, I love her. Like I said, I was pretty excited that I actually got these Pokemon. I really like these ones. I was thinking about doing what it evolves into, which is Sawbuck? Sawsbuck? Sawsbuck. It's got an S. It's got a second S, anyway. Which it does appear by the seasonal thing as well. There is more of a noticeable difference in between the seasons of Sawsbuck than of Deerling. Which I still might do Sawsbuck. It might pop up in, like, Series 3 or something, or whenever. Because I am going to eventually end Series 2 of this, and, like, have a break of this, but I still want to turn Pokemon into Sims. Like, it's one of my favorite series I've ever done for Create a Sim. I just have a lot of fun with it, and there's a lot of creativity into it, so I really like doing it, so that's why I already know there's going to be a Series 3. So, maybe in Series 3, I'll do Sawsbuck, but for now, we got the Deerlings, which is adorable. And in some ways, the fact that it is, like, such a cute Pokemon, and I really do like it, and I was, like, so excited to join us, like, it is one of the Pokemon that literally looks one of the closest things to the actual animal it's based off of, especially after you see Sawsbuck. They are just deer. They are colorful deer. That is what they are. But honestly, deer are sort of pretty anyway, even though I get annoyed hearing my dad talk about deer, because he's the type of person who will watch the sides of the road more than the road itself because he's looking for deer. But I do think deer are really pretty. But anyway, I really loved how all 4 of them turned out. Let me know down in the comments below which one was your favorite. Like I said, winter was mine. I really like fall, though, too. I like all of them, but I think those are my top 2. And I really like how they all turned out. And they're freaking adorable. And I loved taking screenshots of them. I had a lot of fun. I ended up taking more than I needed to, but that's fine. Oh, but one of the things I was going to mention, but I forgot. This is the main reason why I made sure to pull this thing up. This is just a little fun fact that I find very strange about this whole seasons thing. So, apparently, in the game, when the month is January, May, or September, it's spring. If it's February, June, October, it's summer. March, July, November is autumn. April, August, and December is winter. I can understand why they did it this way, just so that it wasn't one season for a really, really long time. And, like, it would be quicker, sooner around that you can be able to find the different versions of Deerling. But I still found that really strange. That it's not, like, thinking of September as spring is weird to me. But it's also where you live at. This also could be because of the whole location, like the hemisphere you live in, because obviously, like, in Animal Crossing, they do the northern hemispheres, and they're basically reversed, so probably when this game was made, they didn't have, like, mechanics like that, or didn't think of mechanics like that, but yeah, it was still a little strange. But anyway, thank you so much for watching. Hope you liked this video, and again, let me know which one of the Deerlings was your favorite one in this video. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, you know, all that lovely YouTube goodiness, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye!